Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here, and this is the brand new Revvl 8 with a whole new redesign and couple of new features here and there. So before I begin, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you do enjoy my videos, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. A lot of more videos are coming on this device and other devices, so stay tuned and be subscribed. So the biggest thing that struck me about this device is the design itself. It almost resembles kind of a Pixel vibe if you can see it, especially the 9A. But yeah, essentially this phone does have this matte finish to it that is very smooth and makes this device very slippery. And of course you have to have that T Mobile exclusive logo. On the back you have a 50 megapixel sensor as well and a macro sensor, more on the camera in a little bit, but you also have this kind of dual tone finish to it. On the bottom of the phone you do have your headphone jack, USB-C, as well as your bottom facing speaker, and of course you have a microphone. On the right hand side you have your power button, which is color themed to the company's color, which is pink, and it does double as a fingerprint sensor. And you also have your volume up and down. Now these are fairly tactile buttons, but my favorite thing about this sort of design is how flat and how flush these cameras sit. Yeah, they protrude, but it's so freaking thin, and we don't see that a lot in today's smartphone world. I mean, it's been a really long time since I've seen this kind of a flat camera design. And yeah, all around the corners of the phone are plastic. And because of the rounded edges, it does make this phone a little bit slippery. But essentially, that's the story behind this phone's design. So definitely not a bad looking phone, and more definitely on the simpler side of things, so I can still appreciate that. So on the front of the phone, you do get a 6.6-inch display, and it is a full HD IPS panel that does get fairly bright. Definitely not the brightest that I've seen at this price point, which this phone does start at $199. And obviously, since it's exclusive to T-Mobile, T-Mobile will give you offers to where you can get it, I think, for like $50, or even in some scenarios for free when you start service with them. So keep that in mind. Now, yeah, so it's a 1080p panel, IPS, hits the basics that you would want in a display. Obviously, if you want to kind of nitpick and be like, well, this is not really a good display, I kind of disagree with you. I know it's not the best display technology, but it still is a solid display. Shout out to the Moto G that still gives us a 720p under a $200 price point. But yeah, as far as the bezels though, these do have some chunky bezels. So if you can get past that, you'll be fine with the display. Now let's go ahead and circle back to the camera system a little bit. So it's a 50 megapixel main sensor, and it does have optical image stabilization. You also get a 2 megapixel macro sensor, which we know it's not really going to be all that crazy. It's just an extra sensor that they put on there. I do want to mention that I'm kind of disappointed that there's no ultra wide or some sort of a telephoto sensor. If it's not a useful kind of camera sensor, I don't think it should be on the phone. I think it's just taking up extra space. But whatever. As far as the camera app goes, it's a very simple, straight to the point camera app. It doesn't get a simpler than this. So you have your photo, video, night, panorama, portrait mode, and so taking pictures on this phone is quick, and it does a pretty good job processing it. But I will save that for my full review. So as far as performance goes, this phone has the following specs. So you do get a octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 with 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, 5000 mAh battery with support of up to 25 watt of fast charging, no wireless charging, and this phone does also support limited lifetime warranty. So read on the manual for more details. Essentially, what I want to say is that it basically hits the sort of minimum expectation of a $200 phone as far as the performance goes. So when it comes to your basics like your phone app, text messaging app, or just your daily tasks in general, it does fine. It performs fairly well, and rightfully so. I mean, this is not really backed by a lot of bloatware, which helps makes the actual use of the phone kind of good. Now, I don't know how it will stack up in the long run. That's for time to tell. But basically, overall, from the couple of hours that I spent with this phone, I can tell you that as far as design, it's simple, yet I think it's very clean and straight. I kind of like the design. I think it's a really good design in my opinion. We'll see when they release the Revvl 8 Pro what that brings to the table. But as far as I'm concerned, very good first impressions, especially from kind of a refreshed design. So I really like this sort of minimalistic look and feel of the phone. Now, I do want to say that the Revvl 8 Pro did not officially launch yet, but it should. I don't know when, but it should. So we'll see what that type of device will bring to the table. And I do have to say that again, this is an exclusive phone for only T-Mobile and Metro by T-Mobile customers. So keep that in mind if you're interested in purchasing this phone. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I do really appreciate you guys for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.